Hey guys, Sidriver here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Henshin Belt Deluxe 2-Side Driver from Kamen Rider Revice. This is the belt used by Kamen Rider Evil and Kamen Rider Live to transform. This includes a few things. The 2-Side Driver itself, which comes in 2 pieces, 1 Vistamp, and belt parts plus a stopper. So, let's get started. First up, we'll look at the included Bat Vistamp. For this stamp, it uses a clear black plastic base with this pearlescent white bat on the front. You can see a lot of nice details there. Behind it, though a lot of it is covered up, you can see the profile shots of Kamen Rider Evil and Kamen Rider Live's helmets. This is also a fairly unique Vistamp because whereas most of them are blue marble, aside from Bata, which is a grey marble one, this one has a unique green marble color. So you can see a lot of that there, plus some deeper green swirls. And of course we have the stamp bit on the bottom. So we'll check out the sounds I can make on its own, starting with the name announcement. Then the stamping sound. And then if we do a half rest, we can get the standby sound. Next, we'll look at the 2-Side Driver itself. So this belt has a pretty interesting design, very asymmetrical with this handle on one end and then this stamping piece on the other, though as you can see it's just a sticker. But this sticker is basically the proper image of what's in the back of the Bad Vistamp, with the profile pictures, or rather the faces, of Evil and Live in profile. It's got this pretty nice metallic green color, though that's mainly for the actual electronic part. As you can see, belt buckle behind it is much more of a bluish green. Got a speaker as well as the slot where voice stamps will go in. Got the IR signal right there. This button would switch between 2 modes. Of course you have the handle. And coming around we have the back, which is where we'll slot in the belt. And this is the type where rather than having 2 clips that lock in on either side, has straps which you loop in to create the belt itself. So you start with the one labeled L, slide that in through here. I'll take the one labeled R, slide it in on the other side, loop it behind the middle buckle, and then snap those pieces together. Then take the stopper, loop it in, swing that around to the back, connect in the tabs, and then move the stopper back over to get the proper 2-Side Driver. Now, as you might imagine, this is a detachable piece. So to start, we can take it and pull it out, which will cause this blade to extend, which has a nice metallic purple to it. And this is the Evil blade used by Kamen Rider Evil. So, like this, we can have the attacking sounds. We can make the attacking sounds by pulling the trigger. And that immediately starts up the IR sensor, though that's not how it's going to be mainly activated. You also switch modes by bringing this back in, holding this black button, then flipping this bit around 180 degrees. And that gives us the Live gun, which is Kamen Rider Live's weapon. In this case, you can see this nice pearl white and gold. And if we pull the trigger now, we get a simple blasting sound. You also switch it back, where it'll say blade, so you have a sound to indicate which mode it's in. And slide it back on, it simply slides in on these rails. just like so. After that, we'll bring in the Bat Vistamp for the transformation into Kamen Rider Evil. So, as usual, we'll start by activating the stamp. Then we'll use it to press in this plate right here. And get that sound. We'll take the Vistamp, slot into here. We'll get that standby sound. And we'll retrieve the evil blade and pull the trigger. And there we have the transformation into Kamen Rider Evil Bat Genome. Now obviously for most of the transformation it's done using IR signals sent between the driver and the stamp, but for that initial activation, what that was done is that when this plate is pressed in, it causes this little pin to raise up. And by the same token, there's a little button here on the back that then gets pressed to activate and play the confirmed sound. As far as batteries go, this includes some button cell batteries, so all you need to do is pull out the tab and it'll be ready to play. So after transformation, the attacking sound does not change. And to activate the finisher, start by pressing in the button on the Vistamp, then pull the trigger.
Hissatsu Shounin! Darkness finish!
And that activates the Bat Darkness Finish. There's also a Rider Kick variant of this, where you first put the blade back on the belt and then close it up. Then activate it the same way.
Hissatsu Shounin! Darkness finish!
Unfortunately, the driver has no way of really telling whether it's on or off the belt, so it's the same sound. Additionally, the way the blade deployment works is via this switch here. When pressed inwards like this, nothing happens, but when it's flipped this way, that causes the blade to flip out. And you have this little tab down here to activate it. Additionally, in order to take out a Vistamp, you just press and hold this button here on the back and pull out the stamp. Next, having switched over the belt to the live gun, we'll activate the transformation for Kamen Rider Live, which is done by the same process. And there we have the transformation into Kamen Rider Live Bat Genome. And yeah, as you can already kind of tell, the reason why they didn't call him Kamen Rider Good as opposed to Kamen Rider Evil is because Live is evil spelled backwards. I've also paid attention to the standby sound, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which is a little bit different depending on which mode it's in. And while it is a bit silly and might seem childish at first, it's, basically kind of a way of just showing that the standby process is kind of picking which rider to turn into. So, just like before, pulling trigger has the same attacking sound, and pressing the button on the stamp will activate the finisher.
Hissatsu Shounin! Justice finish!
Which is the Bat Justice Finish. And we can also do the broad kick variant.
Hissatsu Shounin. Justice finish.
After that, we'll take a look at genome changes, and in this case we'll use the Jackal Vistamp, which was used in the show. And so that process is the same as the normal transformation process. And that's the transformation for Kamen Rider Evil Jackal Genome, which has a different transformation sound than with Bat. And we can still activate finishers via the button.
Hissatsu Shounin. Darkness finish.
You can switch it over to gun mode, and do the same for live. And that's transformation for Kamen Rider Live Jackal Genome. Then we'll activate the finisher.
Hissatsu Shounin. Justice finish.
In addition, just to show that this is actually a stamp that's used for basically, thus far, all stamps that aren't Bat, I'll show you those transformations using a different stamp, in this case, Rex. As you can tell, it has the same transformation sounds as before, but it simply activates the sound for the Vistamp at the end. Of course, the Bat Vistamp is also compatible with the Revice Driver, so let's test it out. And there's a transformation for a hypothetical Revice Bat Genome. Then we'll activate the Bat Stamping finish. Next, we'll use the remix. And that would be the transformation for Revice Bat. After that, we'll bring in the Owen Buster for the weapon finishers.
Hissatsu Shounin. Here we go. Stamping strike.
So there's the bat stamping strike. I'll use it in axe mode.
Hissatsu Shounin, here we go! Stamping thrash!
For the bat stamping slash. We can then get to the Vistamp lesson from Mr. Vice. And if you recall, those are the same sounds that were made when the Bata Vice Stamp gets made, or gets sent to this, meaning that there are some of the more generic ones. And finally, because I'm sure some people are going to comment if I don't do this, it's also possible to activate the transformation into Kamen Rider Live in the way he initially did it. So in this case, we'll stamp it in Blade mode. Then while it's in standby mode, we'll switch it to gun mode. And the transformation still activates. But as a bonus, we can also do the opposite. Starting out in live mode, or gun mode, and then switching over to blade mode mid-standby. And there we go. Overall, the two-side driver is a very cool 2-in-1 Henshin belt. It definitely seemed to take a page from last year's Seiken sword driver, with how it's a belt where you insert in the gimmick item, then retrieve the driver from the belt, so you can transform and then use it as a weapon. Which is a pretty smart move because it means they don't have to market another separate weapon that might not sell as well. Not to mention it is 2 weapons in 1, a sword and a gun, so you got that going on. Plus the two distinct transformation sounds, as well as the different finishers. Not to mention how it is of course compatible with other Vice Stamps, even if they all make basically the same transformation sound. But, because this uses that same kind of IR signals, it is definitely possible that we might get a proper power-up form for Evil or Live in the future, that will then be activated in this driver. It's hard to say for now. Obviously this doesn't do as much as the Revice Driver, but it is a pretty solid belt on its own. So if you're a fan of Kamen Rider Evil, Kamen Rider Live, or both, I can definitely recommend picking up this belt. Next time I'll be returning to the figures by taking a look at the Revice Remix figure, Megalodon Genome, and Eagle Genome set. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.